The one thing that no one will tell you about cocaine withdrawal is this, is that you're going to be massively depressed, and the depression only gets worse. When you first quit cocaine, I'm a recovering cocaine and alcoholic addict, 725/17 is my sobriety date. I was doing 1 to 2 8 balls of coke a day. That was able to be done because I am ADHD. If you know anything about ADHD, people with ADHD will burn through cocaine like no other because stimulants do affect us differently. Now, when I quit cocaine cold turkey. That's typically, there's no tapering really to cocaine. Now, your brain has altered itself from when you first used. Your brain has probably shut down and gotten rid of a majority of your dopamine receptors. So say when you started using cocaine, you had 10 dopamine receptors. You've used cocaine for a few years and it has one dopamine receptor left. Well, that one dopamine receptor is taking all this dopamine. It's still giving you that big mood energy, feeling good still. Well, once you stop, this thing's gonna go sideways because it's not getting any dopamine. Your brain probably doesn't even know how to produce dopamine right now again on its own. It has forgotten, it has rewired itself around this massive stimulant. So you're not gonna have any physical withdrawals. You might have a little bit of exhaustion, maybe a little bit of body aches, who knows, but nothing serious at all. And it's going to be amazing. Like the first couple days you're off, you're like, I got this, I can do this. Your nose is going to be probably a little angry at you. You might have some headaches or some sinus pressures. Any of the rotting and stuff that was happening is going to still continue for a little bit. But you're going to be really motivated. But you're going to notice by about day 4, day 5, there's going to be these little parts. Well, maybe if I did it again. It's really weird little thoughts. And again, comment your experience down below. If you've never seen my channel before, hit the like and follow button. Subscribe. I will tell you all about drugs and how to get sober. And I share for educational purposes only. But your brain's going to start dropping in these thoughts of, man, it'd be, if I just did it on the weekends, or if I did it this time, it'll be different. And it really sinks in by about day 4 and 5, where, hey, the weekend's coming up, like, this time through, we'll just do it on the weekends and we won't do it during the weekday. You start telling yourself all these weird lies. Subconsciously, your brain is trying to get you pulled back over to cocaine. This is where a lot of people will relapse. And that's why there's a difference between Friday cocaine and Monday cocaine. And if you know, you know. Friday cocaine, it's like, hey, I've earned this. I'm here. Monday cocaine, you're doing this because you're carpet surfing. You're just trying to find something to try and get you through that day. Now, if you make it past this, now is where it really starts to settle in, this reality. And this is why I am a huge believer in like NA, AA, Sunflower Sober. If you haven't downloaded it, download Sunflower Sober, the app. It's on iOS and Google Play. I have it down below tagged. Download it because you need to start talking to others. Because after about day 7 and 8, this weird depression is going to start to slowly hit in. Dopamine is the reward center and is the feel good of our brain. Our brain, if your boyfriend texts you, or husband texts you and says, hey, tonight let's make love, and you haven't made love in a couple days, and you're like, oh, and all of a sudden you feel different and you feel turned on and you're all excited. That's dopamine your brain's naturally producing. Sleep helps produce it. Food helps produce it. Amino acids, all this stuff. Your brain, nothing's going to produce dopamine for you. And that's one of the hardest things. And so you start noticing that you start just getting really depressed. And the depression isn't this boohoo depression. This is the fake smile depression. This is the scary depression where you're smiling, I'm good. You don't really realize and understand, why am I so depressed? You might resort to alcohol or something and relapse back onto it. This is where a lot of the relapses happen, just because this depression is such a weird seeping in depression that you're just like hopeless. It's like this black hole of hopelessness. You're like, why is everybody so happy? Because life sucks. And you don't understand why. And you have one dopamine receptor not getting any dopamine, screaming, and your brain doesn't know what to do. And this depression gets worse. So with a lot of people, we believe that after 30 days, let's face it, there's movies out there, the Sandra Bullock movie, 30 days to break a habit. This is true. To break a habit, it takes 30 days for your brain to break this. When it comes to, heroin withdrawals and opiate withdrawals and even nicotine stuff, like the worst part of it's that first 30 days. And after that, it's supposed to get easier. With cocaine, it's the reverse. It gets harder and it gets harder. And people go into pause, post-acute withdrawal syndrome. And pause is painful and it sucks and it's a lot of depression. And during this time, one of the things that can help is lion's mane, because your brain has to start building its receptors back, and eventually it will. It takes time though, and it depends on how much damage you've done to your brain to how much it needs to repair and rebuild itself. And your brain doesn't just do this overnight. It doesn't just, it's not like grass and you throw out some fertilizer and a week later you got to mow it because all the grass is growing. This can take months up to years for it to happen. And that's one of the hardest things, is realizing that this is a long game. And that's where I think it's so important to have a psychiatrist and a psychologist, talking to others and having a good support community, because you're going to have these days that, man, just hit you hard, and days are just heavy and you don't know why. And you're like, I'm coming home to a beautiful wife, and my kids love me, and my life is coming back together. Maybe I just got that promotion at work, and everyone's so proud of me that I'm sober for 90 days, but I don't like myself and I hate everything. This is a big part of it, is your brain, and you have to realize that. And again, this is stuff that nobody tells you. In fact, it's sometimes the reverse, where people are like, oh, it's cocaine, it's really not that addictive. And the problem is that it does have this massive stigma around it, that it's a weekend drug, it's a party drug, it's really not that bad. When in reality, it is one of the most addictive drugs out there. The reason you don't hear about it quite the extent is a lot of cocaine users can't maintain the cocaine use, so they're going to go to something like crack cocaine or crystal meth. And again, this is why I do share. It's for educational purposes only. It's going to be a battle, man, when you get sober from cocaine. That's why I always suggest, like, if you go to rehab, that is amazing. It can get you on some of the right medication, the right treatments, the right therapy, coping tools, all of that. Rehab is amazing. I got Refine Recovery tag down below. They're awesome. Download Sunflower Sober, like I mentioned. Community is there. You have 24-hour AI sponsored support, which I think is really important, especially during cocaine withdrawals. Journaling, you have just tons of resources there, even, and education to learn about addiction and coping skills, because you have to talk to others. You have to get this depression out, and your brain's going to be working against you, constantly trying to find different ways for you to use and relapse. So sharing with others is a huge part. Realizing that you're not the only one going through this is a huge part. Getting with a psychiatrist, I think, is really important, because sometimes you might get on an SSRI to kind of help you with it. Getting with the right therapist, maybe for trauma purposes or whatever, maybe you were self-medicating for. Going to AA meetings and NA meetings and Al-Anon meetings. Some of the meetings you're not going to like. Cocaine, I was made fun of as a cocaine addict in certain meetings. In other meetings, people knew exactly what I was talking about, and they're like, dude, I've been there before. So finding the right meetings is important, and just finding the right individuals to have in your life to have that support is really key. Makes a huge difference of just fighting through and making it through every single day. And that is what it's about. So for the one out there who is trying to get sober, who's fighting to get sober, I hope this video helps you and reminds you that what you're going through is normal. It sucks. Hit the like and follow button. Comment down below, because I'm going to share a lot more on even some of this withdrawals. But know that it's going to get better. I don't know when, but I can guarantee you this. Everyone who I have met who has gotten sober off of cocaine, eventually it got better. I have not met a single person who it never got better. So you're not going to be the exception. I believe in you. For the one doing it one day at a time, don't give up. You got this.